Welcome back to our podcast channel, whatever you want to call it.
Girl, welcome back to Too Much with Shay
and Becca, y'all. How are y'all? How are you doing? I hope your day is going great. I hope the world is not irritating you because I know it irritates me.
Well, that's not a happy note to start on.
Of course.
We're here, we're breathing, we're blessed, we're not in jail. I think we're doing kind of good.
That's a point right there.
Hello. Okay. Good morning.
Okay, because some people are.
For some people, they did not wake up where they thought they was going to be waking up.
Exactly. Okay. That is a fact and that is a point. But y'all know, let's get into our minute weekly rundown.
What's happening? Isn't that graphic so cute? I'm so sorry.
You did that. You really did that.
You know, as we record more episodes, I feel like, we want to try to elevate and do cute little things to make our show seem more put together,
Yeah, right. Like we're not trying to give demure. We're trying to give too much. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I think the term demure has been like, you can be classy and I don't know. We're not gonna talk about demure. Demure was
Girl.
I feel like we already that way.
Give them your rundown.
Okay, you wanted me to go in first. Well, first, I don't know if Rebecca was gonna mention this, but last weekend we went to the HBCU New York Classic game, which was super fun. The sun was sunning. I don't know if I don't want to take this from Rebecca, but it was supposed to be. We were a part of.
Go ahead. You go ahead, my love.
What was it like when people chill outside during football games? Mm-hmm. Tailgating. Okay. And Rebecca wanted to do this whole shebang, bring a tent, bring chairs, bring everything. And I was kind of like, well, we're there to meet people, so I don't think we should do all of that. But it was fun. It was the first time we went to MetLife. Howard won the game. The goal was to find our future husband, and it didn't work. But at least we went outside, and I got a tan. So you
Girl,
do some.
That tan I got is crazy.
Okay, let me finish my minute. I started taking notes because if not, I forget. I'm obsessed with Wendy Williams now. I don't know what has happened, but like my YouTube is full of Wendy Williams clip. I don't know if it's because the mess has been messing this week, and of course, who better than to discuss drama than Wendy Williams? I hope she's doing good. We do miss her in these moments, and I want to mention something to all the people that like to drive. Well, we all like to drive, but to the drivers,
I don't even know what you're gonna say, and I know you about to hit a point.
Okay, I don't know if this is specifically for Jersey, but a lot of you drivers don't understand how turning signals work. A turning signal is supposed to give a sign to other drivers in your area to make them aware, oh, hey, I'm about to go into this lane, that lane. So they don't crash you, okay? Or you don't crash into each other. If you are if you are putting your turning signal as you are turning, your turning signal was never on. It does not work. And the thing is, I know as a driver, you kind of sense when somebody wants to go into your lane, but they don't want to put the turning signal on. I'm not going to let you in my lane. Put the turning signal 5 cars away from me so I know that you want to come into my lane. Stop trying to be slick because I'm not letting you in my lane. Anyways, my week was good. The summer is summering. I thought fall was here, but it's still giving summer. So love that for us.
Girl, to touch on that point, people in Jersey really cannot drive. Don't even get me started about the people who come from either PA or New York who come into Jersey. Y'all really can't drive. Why are you in the left lane? It's like, if you see the biggest gap between you and another car and you have a row of cars behind you, why do you not think that you're the problem? Why would you stay in the lane? And then they love to be like, oh, y'all got road rage. Of course. Would you not?
But Rebecca, I don't even think you have the you shouldn't be talking about people's driving because you are the worst
First off,
driver.
I
I don't
am
know.
an amazing
Out of the
driver.
people I know, you don't take the number one spot, but I think you are the number two. You are a horrendous driver.
I'm a great driver.
Give
Y'all
us
don't
your
even
minute
think-
rundown, please.
Nah, don't even listen to her, y'all. She not about to be shading my name like
I'm
that.
not shading you.
Amazing
I'm being so
driver.
honest. You're a horrible
And that's why
driver.
Rebecca is always the designated driver because I'm such a good driver.
No, you're a driver because you say you're gonna drive, and of course, if I don't have to drive, I'm gonna say yes.
But I'm a horrendous driver though.
Yeah, you're a bad driver.
She capping, y'all. She capping. Anyway, into my minute rundown, right? This week has been a week, right? As always, there are always a weeks. But I went to Walmart because I ran out of my favorite Aveeno because I got sensitive skin. I use Aveeno oatmeal body wash. If they ever want to sponsor me, hit me up, ring, right? And I'm walking through the aisle with all the body washes, right? Mm-hmm. As I'm walking, I'm I'm looking, and I'm walking past the men's, right? Shayla, have you ever heard of 3-in-1 body wash?
Yeah.
Diabolical.
It's like just shampoo, is like a body. Yeah, that's the thing. It's
diabolical. Did you know there's a 5-in-1?
I've heard of all the many in ones. I've heard of all of them. Yeah.
Shayla, I have never in my life seen a 5-in-1 body wash. I go and I'm like, let me pick this bottle up and read what it is. Shayla, shampoo, conditioner, face wash, body wash, and deodorizer. What?
Really? I feel like that's like, I mean, I don't know if that's a thing for you, but it's like jabón de cuava. Jabón de cuava is like this yellow soap bar that you can use. It's like a shaded version, not shaded, like, what do you call that when you like put it in shaded? Little, I don't know. There's a shaded version. I'm using the wrong word. Spanglish is taking me out. I'm sorry. It's like a shaded version that's not shaded, but I can't think about the word that you can use to wash your clothes. People use that to wash their body, but they also use it for like, you can use it for everything. There's certain soaps that you could just use for everything.
Shayla, that's not, I don't care how you try to explain it to me, to frame it to me. That is not normal to me. That is heinous. Okay. The same thing that's used to wash and condition my scalp should not be used to wash my hair, my poocha cooch, or deodorize me. That's not normal.
Well, taking a shower is deodorizing yourself. Like, it's not like a different thing. When you shower, you're cleaning yourself and then you're going to smell better.
Girl,
that's deodorizing.
That's body wash.
When you shower,
Shayla,
you smell better, so you deodorize yourself. What is deodorizing?
The definition for deodorizer.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
You telling me I'm deodorizing in the shower?
Well, because what I think that word means is like you smell good, like you're cleaner.
Remove or conceal an unpleasant smelling.
Right. So when you shower, you're removing it.
Go ahead. I'm thinking they talk about real.
That's just marketing. That's why I'm saying they be getting Rebecca with all the marketing. It's literally
they didn't get me. That's disgusting.
Okay, but it's literally just marketing words. It's literally different ways to say it's gonna clean you.
Y'all, the moral of the story is after I read that, I was disgusted. I went to my Aveeno and a guy walked into that aisle and he picked up the 5-in-1. I gasped. I was like, and he looked at me. I'm looking at him, and he looking at me. And I was just stunned. And then he just turned around and walked away. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Okay, I had to Google it. It's literally called jabón de cuava. Well, you can't see nothing, but I Googled what is it used for, right? It's a multi-purpose soap that can be used for many things, including laundry, personal care, food preparation. I've never used it for no food, wound care, propane, and gasoline tanks. I never used it for that, but I do know that jabón de cuava is seen as like you can use for everything. The same way that Vivaporu is like when you sick, they put it in your throat, your nose. If you want to eat it, girl, I'm sure there's a Latino out there that probably eats it too. So I'm not as surprised by that, but girl, I'm sorry that took you for a loop.
Girl, I thought that was absolutely diabolical behavior. But hey, if you use 5-in-1 shampoo, I said shampoo. What shampoo?
Well, it is a shampoo.
Yeah, it's everything. I couldn't imagine walking into my man's bathroom and seeing 5 and 1.
I don't think it's that big of a deal, but
Girl,
okay, I'm sorry for you. You just don't buy it. The beauty of freedom.
I mean, shoot, if you do it, you do it. But hey. But Shayla, you wanted to get into Jersey?
Well, I didn't want to get into it. I'm a proud Jersey girl. But I wanted to discuss how I feel like they want to suppress people from Jersey so bad. They want to link us. New Jersey is just New Jersey. I'm reading our lower third here. Yes, they want us to be in the mix with New York so bad. And I'm just like, last time I checked, I need to pay New York taxes and New Jersey taxes, aka because we're two different states, but I work in New York, so I got to pay their taxes too, which is really higher than ours. So I'm like, we need to be separate. And the reason that this conversation comes up is because I work in New York, right? So sometimes, Jersey comes up and they just try to be like, oh yeah, that's like New York. We were talking about like, oh, it was like some sort of soccer team, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, so what's the soccer team for New York? They're like, oh, I don't know the exact name, but they play in the Red Bull Arena. And I'm like, the Jersey Red Bull Arena? Right. And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, so the New York team is playing in Jersey. The Giants team play in Jersey, but it's a New York team. The Jets also play in Jersey, but they're a New York team, right? And I'm just like, why are you guys taking advantage of all our resources, but y'all want to be different so bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel that way?
I feel like also what I hate, and I'm gonna answer your question. I hate when like people are like, oh, like when I go to events in the city and stuff, they're like, oh, where are you coming from? I'm like, oh, I'm coming from Jersey. They're like, oh, so it's technically just New York's little cousin. No. Don't, first of all, chill on us. Don't nobody want to be compared to y'all. The heck?
It's not even about comparing, it's that we are our own entity, and I think we're not treated as such.
Like, and like even when I have cousins like that live in like Boston and stuff like that, when I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, you're from Jersey, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, so like you're always in New York. I'm like, no. They're like,
I'll take that. Okay. Yeah, I feel like mainly because I work there, I go to New York often. And I'm not gonna lie, yes, New York has a better nightlife, or like just more people are there, the jobs are better, they pay better. But I'm just like, give some respect to Jersey, especially like even just sports related. Just because we are so close to them does not mean that we can't have our own team. Maybe, yes, I know Jersey is small, but we're small but mighty. Like, why does New York need to have, I think they have 3 football teams, right? They have the Buffalo, the Giants, and the Jets. Yeah. 2 of them play at MetLife, which is in Jersey, but Jersey got 0 teams. How does that make sense to you?
Girl, the 76ers almost came to Jersey. They was almost in Camden, but the deal ain't work out. So they going
the Brooklyn Nets, I call them the Jersey Nets, need to come here. Oh, and also the Jersey Jets. We need to have our own. If y'all are gonna play in our vicinity, then we need to have a team.
If we have a Jersey team, we're gonna need a better name than Jersey Jets.
And that's fine. We'll work on the name. Just give us a team. Period.
Okay. I'll give you that. Okay. Y'all, let's get into our next topic though. I don't like many things in this life, right? But I'm the type of person, when I do like something, it really irritates me when something comes out that deters me to wonder why I even like them. So like Shayla knows, I don't listen to many podcasts in this world. I really don't. And the one podcast I listen to, there's controversy surrounding them now. So the podcast, as you can see from my lower third, is called ShxtsNGigs. And they like became really popular, I would say, over the last year, because a lot of their videos started trending, especially on social, because they were the ones who used to start talking about like, what are icks that guys give you? What are icks that females give you? And people would always give like their funny responses. And like the questions that they asked always got like the most entertaining responses, right? So
it was never moved, by the way. Go ahead.
I used to be tickled pink. Get it? Pink. Okay. But like, I used to find them so entertaining. And like I said, like, I don't get into a lot of podcasts because not that many things can keep my attention, but I always found James and Fuhad very entertaining. Well, they went on their whole little US debut where they were going to all different like podcasts that are popular in the US just so they can, like, you know, meet new people, talk to different podcasts, basically like expand their brands. Because like I said, they've become extremely popular, especially over this last year. They went to, what's his name? Andrew? I think his name is Andrew Schulz.
Yeah, he's like a well-known comedian that has a podcast.
Right. So they went on that podcast and they were talking about the black girlfriend effect, how when white guys date black girls, they automatically start to like look more cultured, more seasoned, you know, a little adobo, a little sazon, a little onion pepper, garlic pepper, and then boom, you got you a fine white man. Example, Travis Kelce before Taylor Swift. Right? Now he looked like a truck driver, but that's just another story for another day. No shade to truck drivers. So
my brother-in-law is a truck driver. Not too much on the truck drivers. Not too much on the truck drivers. Not too much.
No shade.
Truck drivers get paid good money, honey.
Girl, I used to
shout out to the truck drivers.
No facts. Shout out to you. I used to talk to a few. Okay, but basically, as they were talking about the black girlfriend effect, Andrew basically started making a lot of comments about black women and all that. I'm gonna play the videos. Yes, I just wanted to give them background. Okay, so this is the video we were talking about.
What is the black girlfriend effect? This
you don't know about
blow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend. All of a sudden, he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up.
Glows up, bro.
I like that. I like that. They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect. It might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective.
Yeah. Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Who can that means white.
Hey, let me get a US translation.
Kendrick fans, get them!
We love them all.
That's roiling.
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite? Like, it's because they're getting the smacked out of. Shut up. Like, so after that came out, like I said, it was like 2 days of wildfire all down my TikTok timeline. There was people stitching the video and basically giving their own comments and talking about how disrespectful and how disgusting that behavior is, especially as two people from the UK who have I would say a diverse following, but a lot of black women follow them. So it's like a lot of people are basically saying they didn't feel protected by them, right? So because of this causing so much controversy and people sharing their thoughts and opinions on that, they ended up issuing an apology. Let me play the apology before we get into everything else.
He just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour. And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women. And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Making a frankly racist joke. And we were laughing at it. And to give, there's first of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Like it is, fight or flight is a real thing, and it's so not easy to say, but when you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I'll smack homeboy in the face, I would say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
You're in shock, and all you want to do is move on.
Yeah, move on is the fucking word, bro. All you want to do is fucking move on. Just move on to the next thing. Just move on to the next thing.
There's
and
so
like
many
we had to
times.
say a few times, bro, just move on.
Just move
on.
So many different topics. We were like, move on.
Yeah.
And it's not even like about pity laughs or anything, but we just wanted to
get out of that situation.
Literally get out of that situation, keep the ball rolling. And we thought it was going to be more of like a bros chat, but it ended up being something that's
ended up being something that's like really, really hurt people that look to us for support and look to us to feel protected. And protected is the main thing that I wanted to discuss, is that it is our duty to protect you guys.
Facts.
And it is definitely not cool to be in that situation. And again, not be the ones to stand up and kick the cameras down. And we fucked it on that occasion.
We did.
It's not going to happen again. And it's about being human. It's about realizing that you don't know what you're prepared for. You don't know how to prepare for something
you don't know
that you don't know
about.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And once it's happened one time, you're like, fuck, all right.
You learn from your mistakes, and that's literally
You
learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, we
man.
fucked it, and we're sorry.
We
and
definitely do apologize.
It's, for me, like, it's one of them ones where you don't realize that, like, for one, when you're part of a community, you don't realize that you can hurt your own community.
Especially
when you're not, when unintentionally.
Unintentionally, for real.
And also on top of that, it was so crazy that like the narrative that's been spun about how we feel about our community, the irony of the fact that whilst the whole reason we're in that country was to just show how much we love our community and show how much we love our supporters and how much time we spent at the shows and just like getting to know people and just like understanding our community better and just like making friends and making bonds and showing love, and they're showing love. And this whole 6-week trip was just about showing how much we love our community and how much our community show out for us. And then to have that exact same trip be the reason that we're having to have this conversation now. But at the end of the day, mistakes make you a better person.
Mistakes do make you a better person.
You're not born a person.
I just want to say before you go, Shayla and I were talking about this on the phone yesterday. And my whole problem with the apology, I was saying to Shayla on the phone, like, because Shayla always says this one thing to me. You say it in Spanish that your mom says it to you. Go ahead, say it.
La gente mata con el I'm sorry.
Yeah, so like one thing about it, in this country, we will beat people to death with I'm sorry, right? And I just feel like the reason why the apology doesn't seem genuine to me is because if I say people who eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are the most disgusting people in the world, like you don't deserve to walk this earth. And then I issue an apology and I'm like, I'm sorry that I offended those who eat sandwiches. You said peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, not just sandwiches in general. In the video, he said Black women, and you are talking about the community as a whole. Okay, go ahead, Shayla.
Okay, so backstory for me, the only reason I knew about these guys is because, like Rebecca mentioned, Rebecca was a fan or is a fan, I don't know, of this podcast. Is it ShxtsNGigs? Because I call this Shits and Giggles, but because I don't know them. But now I do. So when I saw that clip, I was like, oh my God, no way. Because, well, like Rebecca loves these guys. And then I saw everything that she showed you. And number one, they were saying that the joke was incredibly inappropriate and it was racist. And that it was just that their fight or flight just got to them. When your fight or flight gets to you, that means that you react with however you feel, right? So if in that moment you actually felt like it was racist and inappropriate, your body will respond to that on that fight or flight, whatever naturally, because Rebecca knows how I am. Sometimes she's like, she gets mad because I'm not as, I don't accept a lot of inappropriate stuff, right? That Rebecca is a little bit more like open and outspoken about certain things. Like I'm not gonna play around with you with none of that. So if I truly believe that you said something racist about someone that I care about, my community, about being Afro-Latina, about Haiti, about Dominican Republic, like my fight or flight reaction would be like, yeah, no, we're not going to do this. Because the crazy thing is that they actually started the whole Black woman effect thing, right? To be like a compliment to Black women. So it's like sometimes, especially Black men, in order to cater to what this white man said, right? Oh, well, he made a joke, so of course I have to laugh. No, stand on it. It's like, no, actually, like I just said, the Black woman effect is that actually Black women elevate your life. Don't be like, oh, because you want to please this man. I don't even care. If you invited me into this platform, you should already know how I feel, right? So that's one point. The number two is like, I don't even think that you look to us to protect. I don't think you were watching this podcast because you're like, oh yeah, what their names again?
James and Fuhad.
James and Fuhad are going to protect me. It's not even about protection. It's just you are a part of a community. So I would assume, I don't know, if you disrespect anyone that's a part of my community, I'm going to step up, not because, oh, I'm the protector of the, they're your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't even be like, oh, I'm a protector. It's just, you should speak up for your people, but maybe that's too much to ask for. The other thing is, they were like, oh, it's not going to happen again. Well, of course, once you're canceled, people bring up stuff from the past, honey.
Okay.
Before you got into this Andrew podcast, you guys already felt a way about Black women. So don't try to come up now on some, oh, well, actually, it was just because we were around Andrew and he said this joke. From the videos that I've seen, even way before this, y'all already felt how y'all felt about Black women. And okay, maybe you had to change your heart, but I don't know. That's that on that.
So to go to, I want to mention, so whenever I watched, right? So when he was like, a lot of people come to us, like you mentioned, for like to feel protected, to feel supported. The reason why I got into them is because the way that my mind works is like my mind will race and rumble, bumble, and everything. Like I think a lot, right? So when I started watching them, I wasn't watching y'all because I felt protected or anything like that, because y'all consistently provided me with laughter. That is why I watched y'all, to hear the comments that people gave, like to hear the responses. And I feel like their sense of humor kind of emulates mine in terms of like, they used to give slick responses, or like they used to be quick with like funny, like quirky little things that they said. So that's why I got into them, right? I personally I'm not watching y'all to feel protected, to be honest. I'm watching y'all to give me those moments of relief when I need it, right? Mm-hmm. So when they get on the podcast, like you mentioned, y'all brought up the fact that the Black girl effect. Y'all started off on a great note, talking about some like, you know, when they like, usually when white guys get with these Black girls, their overall appearance improves to that is culturally seen with Black men, right? And like, it started off cool, great. When dude said, I don't like that at all, I would have said, and that's fine, that's valid for you to have your own opinion, right? But then when he sits there and now he's trying to mock you guys by saying, have y'all dated Black girls? And y'all like, yeah, we've dated Black girls before. Have y'all dated white girls? Yeah. Which one do you like better? And then to sit there and say, like, granted, I understand when people get nervous or when people are in certain situations, sometimes people laugh, right? If that was the case, cool. But then y'all sit there, like, when you freeze the videos on the parts that he's talking about that's clearly being disrespectful, y'all head is cocked back in laughter. I'm seeing nothing but gums and teeth. I know what your tonsils look like. Like, if you're uncomfortable, when I'm uncomfortable and I give a laughter, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
and before we play the Andrew, because I do want to that point, I want to play, because Andrew, he had a reaction to their apology. I also want to mention the fact that this same community that you were like, I know you guys look to us to protect, which I don't think anyone looked at them to protect. But then again, I was never a viewer. You were, and you just said, I didn't look at you guys to protect me. When I always think the disrespect should be, you know, to the same level, if not higher than that of the disrespect. So if you know that the whole joke was about Black women, in that video, you should have been like, I am sorry to the Black women that I offended, not to the community, to the people that I protect. Like, it was literally the elephant in the room, and you was just going everywhere in circles. I'm sorry to the Black women that I hurt, because y'all weren't talking about any other race, any other type of women. Y'all were talking about Black women. That was what the whole joke was about. But let's play Andrew.
Yes. And then I got some more things to say.
Agree with me. I do bite my feet. I just want to say that is not a Scottish thing, and I don't want you to put that on my community. That is a just me thing. Okay. Now, as far as the sanitary,
you're eating your own body. That's kind of a Haitian thing.
Mark, can we take this seriously? This is an apology. They're fighting for their careers.
Désolé.
They're fighting for their lives.
Lo
here.
siento, Haitians. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And it is definitely not cool to be in that situation. And again, not be the ones to stand up and kick the cameras down. And we fucked it on that occasion.
We did.
It's not going to happen again. And it's about being human. It's about realizing that you don't know what you're prepared for. You don't know how to prepare for something
you don't know
that you
about.
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And once it's happened one time, you're like,
Pause.
fuck.
You know what's mad funny about this? Is that they had shit that they asked to take out the episode. You know what they didn't ask to take out?
Your racist slander. Why is your nose twitching?
They had shit. Their producer, whatever, was like, "Hey, we really think that's inappropriate. We'd like to take that out. That's very uncomfortable." Their fight and flight instinct really kicked in after the power down. But with that joke about the Black women, nothing really seemed. The fight or flight wasn't really there.
Your delivery was too good. I think
Maybe they were seduced by the delivery.
Yeah,
I like them. I feel bad they're going through this, but you don't got to protect anybody. That's what I would say.
I
to
like
y'all
them too.
personally, to y'all publicly. You don't got to protect. Your people are equal. What are you talking about?
Okay. Yo,
I'm over here taking notes because it's just it's just weird to
like,
me how people don't think that they should ever speak up about their community. That's kind of weird.
From the very beginning, first off, Haitian people had nothing to do with this, yet you brought them up. Two, at the end, right? I mean, there was a bunch of stuff said in the middle, right? But at the end, you had old dudes sit on that couch talk about, so like, your people are equal, so what are you complaining about? What? And it's like, this is why I always say, I am a firm believer. I am, as someone, when it comes to like the difference between Shayla and I am the one who's going to say the more like rambunctious, like out of pocket stuff, right? But it comes to a point where you gotta look at somebody and just ask, like, how are you so out of touch? Like, there's certain things, like when people, especially in America, you cannot tell me that Black people, minorities, period, right, are afforded the same opportunities as everybody. So to sit there and say y'all are equal, so what are you talking about, is like such an out of touch thing to say. And it's like, you have never experienced any type of difficulties in your life for you to come out and just say that.
Well, the funny thing is, there was a Black man sitting on that.
Girl,
I'm like, sir, why are you even on the couch? Because clearly you could tell he was embarrassed because he was holding his little hat and just like shaking his head. If you're not saying nothing, you might as well like.
You're not contributing
the problem,
nothing.
To be honest. Number two, I mean, I have a question to ask you, but I also want to talk about this whole idea of like, you don't have to protect anyone. And I think that's a very American type of like personality or thinking. Like, it's not even like, I don't know what people think protecting is. It's not like you have here a whole military set with a sword and guns. It just means if people are talking down about your community, you don't all teeth, all gums. You just know you're not about to disrespect my people, because that plays a big role with racism and systemic racism, because people think that Black people, minorities, immigrants are less than, and they could just make jokes about us. No, because I know if you ever disrespect a white person, if it's, you know, they're the first one calling customer service, because you are not about to disrespect me and my people. So, but we need to suck it up. No, I'm also going to call customer service. And the last point I want to make is, this is a question for you, because like you said, we're too different when it comes to like jokes and stuff. You accept more jokes than me. So when he said, this guy, I don't even know what he is. Oh, eating your own bile, that's kind of a Haitian thing. You're pro dark jokes. What is, because to me, I would have been like, that's not even a joke. So where do you see that line of like dark humor?
I would say for me, like different things are funny and there's certain things that aren't funny. So like, I think for me, where it stems is like, if there's something, especially me, like everybody has different boundaries when it comes to things that they care
Right, but
about.
I want to know about you.
Right. I'm getting there. Dang. So when it comes to the things that you care about, people have different boundaries. For me, I don't play when it comes to people talking about like sexual abuse. I don't play about people playing about Black people, Haitian people, children. I don't play about that stuff, right? Like I'll be quick to say F them kids. But if you sit there and you were to tell me like, yeah, like kick that child in the head, that's not funny. Right? I think also the problem is that dark jokes are meant to be framed as a joke. But there's times where people are making these jokes, but there's underlying words behind it. Like you're intentionally trying to be disrespectful, trying to cover it up with laughter. Right. And I think that's my problem. So like for this, like to go to the other, to talk about basically to encompass all the videos that we saw, right? My whole problem when I first saw everything is in this community, like they love to keep saying, Black women are consistently always the butt of the joke or the butt of the disrespect. Like when you have these comedians who are either, they could be Black men, they could be white men, it doesn't matter, who are pretending to be Black women. They're always doing like the ratchet, like ghetto, like basically trying to encompass that type of stereotype or that type of personality trait, and people eat it up, right? No, right? The first thing Andrew says when he was talking about Black women is like, the reason why they doing this to their hair is because Black women are stressing them out or something like that, something to that extent. And it's like, what Black women have you experienced, right? Because the Black women I know who do have strong personalities, Shayla and I have very strong personalities, right? Yeah. But it's like, we're respectful, right? I'm not saying that, just wait, right? I'm not saying there's not people who do have strong personalities and are disrespectful and do embody that type of stereotype. Listen, it is what it is, right? But you can't sit there and put everybody in that bubble and assume that that's how everybody is, because we already try and fight tooth and nail to get out of that idea and that bubble of the stereotype. That's why people are, why are you always so aggressive? Why are you always so this? Why are you always so that? There's always these questions when it comes to Black women, but it's like, why are y'all so bothered by us? Just let us be us.
And I think also the problem is that, God forbid, Black women stand up for themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we're also expected to just suck up things. Like, well, you disrespect it, i.e. that joke. Because if a Black woman was in the room, and again, like not all Black people are Black for real, but if a real Black woman would have been in the room, they would have been like, absolutely. I mean, I know if I would have been in that room, honey,
girl, you would have seen
we wouldn't have got past. I don't even think he would have gotten out of his mouth. But again, whatever. Let's just and let Black women express themselves. And if you're not into people clocking you, then move on to the next person. Go to whatever flavor you prefer. That's fine. But leave me and my girls.
And that's another thing when it comes to like when people are sitting there talking about, like my preference. I even got family members who think like that, like who think like, I don't date Black women because of this, that, and that, like basically going based off the stereotype. And it's just like, you are actively going out of your way to disrespect your mother, your cousins, your like any family member that you have, any Black woman that is in your family that you are sitting there discussing this stereotype about. You are actively disrespecting them, right? And I've had conversations with Black guys who do think like that, and I'm like, you saying that you don't like to date Black women because they're ghetto, ratchet, and this classless or whatever. It's like, you are actively disrespecting your mama, right? So then when they say that, I'm like, so when I asked them, I'm like, oh, so like you don't talk to your mama, so it's F your mama. Oh, now you want to get big and bad. Now you want to argue with me. You actively are disrespecting her. If you're going to generalize a whole entire group, your mama fall in that.
Yeah. Moral of the story is it's okay if you want, if you don't want to date your own people, but just don't talk down on them. That's fine. If you only want to date white people, okay, but don't be like, well, I don't want to date Black people because they're XYZ and it's all these stereotypes, because there are crazy people of all sex, genders. Like there's the crazy white people, the crazy Latinos, like there's of everything. So for you to just, like you mentioned, put a whole blanket over a whole community is insane. But we gotta move
this
on.
is gonna be my last point. And it's like, you can't also allow, like, not even allow, you can't sit there and praise one group for acting a particular way, and then when another group acts that way, or people within that group act that particular way, they're automatically demonized. That's not fair. Right? It's not fair. Because, like, how would you feel if that's all everybody always put you in that box because of other people? Like, if I sit there and said that I saw like a white man walking down the street and I automatically said, oh, you a cokehead. Why do you think that? Because I know 10 white dudes who are cokeheads. That's not fair to you because you're not a cokehead. So it's like, y'all need to learn how to not generalize people, because that's something I used to do, right? And one thing about it, I'm a clock myself. I used to put people all in one group. I used to be like, all Black men are the same, all this, all that. But that's not fair to y'all. Especially if I'm over here saying that I want to get with a Black man, having that preconceived notion that all Black men are alike is not fair to y'all, because it doesn't give y'all the chance.
Right.
And it's like, if you want a chance and if you want to change, also, you got to sit there and open your mind to a different type of mindset, which is outside of generalizing an entire group and actually just acknowledging that some people act like that and some people don't. Like Shayla said, there's crazy people in every different race and community. You just got to find the people who fit you. And if you don't want a particular group of, like, a particular race or anything like that, that's fine. I promise you, ain't nobody fighting for you in that community. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, we'll be good. So on to the next major topic this week. Sean Diddy Combs. Okay. He was arrested. So Sean Diddy Combs was arrested on September 16th. He was charged with racketeering conspiracy, aka RICO, sex trafficking, and related offenses in connection with an alleged years-long scheme to exploit and abuse women. The indictment follows civil lawsuit, including one from his former girlfriend, singer Cassie, accusing him of sexual assault and physical abuse. Diddy pleaded not guilty to the charges, and if convicted, he could face life in prison. He tried twice to get out on bail. He even put his family's passport on the table. They said, no, you're staying. It was like millions of dollars in bail. They said, you're absolutely going to stay in jail. And I think Rebecca has this graphic. I wanted to read a few key points from the indictment. And just again, to make clear, he was charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transporting women for prostitution. So in the indictment, they explained how Diddy would take part in freak-offs, right? Or he would host these freak-offs. So freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug abuse. Freak-off supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting, cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak-offs to try to mitigate room damage. They raided his house and they found some of these freak offs materials. So in or about March 2024, during searches of Combs's residences in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized victims' freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak-offs. Combs maintained control of his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, and by other coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victim's appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances. So this is out of the 14-page indictment. And if you can, I suggest you read it because it details, first of all, it included all his names. So it was like Sean Diddy Combs, Sean, Love, any name that he ever went by. The government said, we are going to clock, and we're going to clock all of your aliases. Okay, I knew that was kind of the word, but
wait, before
I'll let you go first, Rebecca.
I wanted to, so like for me, I saw this TikTok and this girl was like, I had to figure out what 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant looks like in a room, right? So I went to GPT, and I asked them to show me what a photo of that would look like. So I have the screenshot right here, right? So they would basically ask me, did I want to see a scene? And I said, yes, y'all, this is what it would possibly look like. And mind you, because I put lubricant, they wouldn't let me see lubricant. So I had to change it to just baby oil. But just imagine some lubricant mixed up in there. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about how disgusting Diddy and his whole Sean Diddy Combs enterprise was, because first of all, in the indictment, it says it was tracking from 2008 to 2024. So this has been decades.
And the reason why I'm looking down is because, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just wanted to mention how disgusting it is and how sad it is that a lot of people knew about this. And I want to give a big shout out to Cassie, because I feel like without her, you know, a lot of women wouldn't have spoken up about it, because, you know, she was the first one to press charges on him. A video came out, and I think because of that, other women were like, you know what, it's okay for me to speak out. And it sucks because a lot of men do not believe women, or just society in general, because the whole thing when it was Meg and her shooting, no one wanted to believe her. But guess what? That man is now in jail, whether you want to believe it or not. And there is this whole track record of people just not wanting to believe women. And some people are like, oh, well, why did you wait all these years? Because as I read in this indictment, it's not just, I'm just going to come out. These people use their high status to leverage that over you, right? So the securities, they're, okay, well, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to blackball you in the industry. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do all these extra things. And it's just so disgusting. And the fact that you have daughters, right? You have your twin daughters who are old enough now to see all this news, to read this. It is heartbreaking.
And I wanted to touch on, so there was, you know, as more information comes out about the lawsuit and stuff like that, some of the evidence is being shared. And there was like some text messages that were shared. And basically it was like this one female who was subjected to the freak offs and stuff like that. And she was like, she got beat and abused by him, saying that like she still has cuts that are bleeding and that like things that are healing and stuff. And she basically said, and like it stuck with me, is like, how could you do this? Like, I'm someone's daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And like, that broke my heart, low key, because I'm like, dag, like, you have daughters. You make it seem like I remember when he changed his thing to Brother Love, and I think he tried to change it to like Love Lion or something like that. Like, you try to embody like this man who like is such a compassionate man. So this person who loves everyone, this person who wants to spread love to everyone. But it's like, when this first came out, one of my coworkers asked me like, how do you feel about this whole Diddy situation? And I literally said, what's done in the dark will come to light, right? I'm a firm believer that you will never get away with anything, right? There's always going to be someone who gained the courage. There's always going to be that one person who finds that one thing. Like, you can't sit here and do things like this that are so disgusting, disrespectful, just heinous, right? And just think that you can just live a happy life. Right.
And to add to that, I cannot stand the people that are like, well, to me, it just seems that he was a freak or he just likes sex. There's a big difference between liking sex or being freaky. There's consent. Consent is important. You flying people out, right? Even if they are sex workers or not, there is a mutual agreement. Okay, I fly you out. I'm paying you to do X, Y, and Z. If once I get there, you drug me and you force me to do things that I don't want to do, and after I leave, I'm like, I never want to see you again, or I'm going to press charges on you, and you're like, well, no, you don't do that, or you're with a gun to my head, or you're not paying me the money that you said you were going to pay me. You're recording me when you never mentioned that to me. That does not qualify as being a freak, just so you know.
And to that point, like you said, there's a difference between, like, I am all for people exploring their sexual taste, right? Because there's people who they sign up for actual websites and stuff like that where like you reenact rape scenes, right? But that's between two consenting adults, right? I am all for exploring your sexual interests and stuff like that, like what Shayla said, with consent, with both parties agreeing to this, right? And there's a difference between being a freak and being a menace. There's a difference. Like, you just don't have self-control. And I was like, so I had asked on my Instagram, what are some of your thoughts and some of y'all's reactions? So one of my friends said, take that slingshot with the key and toss that thing into the deepest parts of the ocean. And I died laughing. Another person said,
he needs to be in jail.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you take the key
of the jail cell.
You take the key once he's locked up and slingshot it. See, there you go. There you go. My one friend said, she said, I can't say or judge, but what I will say, in all caps, is karma don't play. You can't run around harming people and not think you will be punished. We love Diddy for what he brought to our culture, but for humanity, especially women, we have to make sure people don't get away with what he got away with for all those years. And I told her, I agree. I definitely want to see how the court cases and everything happens. I think he does need to go to jail, lock him up. But I also remember, like I said, if I could be in charge of punishments, I think jail is too easy. It's too easy. You've gotten away with this for years. And also, before we continue on to the next topic, I also want to say, when everything was coming out about Diddy, the first person I connected him to was R. Kelly. And I remember hearing Wendy Williams say that the industry has known about this. Like, she's like, I've been hearing things about R. Kelly for years, and people never wanted to confirm anything, right? So you can't tell me these freak offs is just something that people are hearing now and people are trying to denounce it, or some people are trying to say, oh, what Diddy did does not, like, Method Man was doing an interview outside because they asked him about Diddy and stuff like that. And he said, what Diddy has done doesn't have a reflection on hip hop. No, but it has a reflection on the industry, because you can't tell me one person didn't know about this.
Cat Williams surely did.
Okay.
He set the tone from the beginning of the year when he went on Shannon Sharp's podcast.
Exactly.
And also, like, Diddy is known to have parties, whether they were freak offs or not. Everybody was like, oh, he hosts the best party when he was with the Ciroc brand, is like Ciroc and all of these people. And even us as regular people, you know what I'm saying? Things get around in word of mouth and circles. You know things that are happening, whether it's directly impacting you or not. Exactly. And especially in the celebrity culture, there's only so many people that are, you know, A-list celebrities, and they usually hang out with each other, because if they hang out with people that are not A-list celebrities, you know, people things get out. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to sign NDAs, which is also why probably when you hang out with these celebrities, you also got to sign NDAs, because they on you about things that you can and cannot say. But I will definitely be following this story, and I hope justice is served. And yeah.
And I want to just say, Diddy. I bet you didn't know that this was going to happen. But like I said, this is my favorite quote of the week. What's done in the dark will always come to light. And now, baby, in the wise words of Rihanna, shine bright like a diamond. That lawsuit is shining bright like a diamond. Okay. And I also just want to show the video that was just released of him getting arrested. Look, y'all, look. Look at this. Walking with him. Look, he love that jewelry. Look at them handcuffs. They're going to wait a little bit. And then once they get outside, you're going to see him, his trench coat, and all them people. Look at that. Take him outside. Let him get some air. Yeah, look at him. Looking scrumdiddlyumptious in them. Yup, that's right. That's what they're going to say about you in prison, my boy. They're going to say you look real scrumdiddlyumptious. But to lighter topics. Red Lobster, y'all. If y'all never knew this, okay, I'm a very picky eater, but when I go to these chain restaurants, there's specific items that I enjoy. And just like most people, I'm obsessed with a Cheddar Bay biscuit, and Red Lobster's head is above water. They started closing locations, just like they were in a terrible predicament. They were closing locations. They claimed that they were bankrupt. Everything.
I don't think they claimed. They were really
they were
going
bankrupt. Right. Check me. Thank you. They filed for bankruptcy and all that, and now they're not bankrupt anymore, guys. And they just got a new CEO. So let me give y'all some little background. What'd I say?
CEO.
That's a whole different job. Right.
Listen, baby. I had a professor that was doctor. They paid a lot for that.
Okay.
If I'm CEO, I need you to CEO being.
Okay, so let me give this quick little backstory before we get into our wind down. I just wanted to talk about this because y'all know I love a Red Lobster. When Shayla sent that to me, I said, girl, Cheddar Bay biscuits on me. Okay. So they said Red Lobster has successfully exited Chapter 11 bankruptcy after completing its acquisition by RL Investor Holdings LLC, which is backed by Fortress Investment Group and other investors. As part of new ownership, Red Lobster has secured over $60 million in funding for improvements. And like I mentioned, they've appointed their new CEO. The company, now privately held, it continues to operate 545 restaurants in the U.S., Canada, and plans to strengthen its business and deliver better experiences for customers. All I know is that recipe better not change. Okay.
I agree. And I'm happy that Red Lobster was able to make a come up, because especially like for people that grow up, you know, broke on a budget, Red Lobster is like the bougie place. You know what I'm saying? Like if you on a budget and you want seafood, I feel like Red Lobster was the place to go and celebrate and feel like you were, you know, a little high class.
Exactly.
And I think it also gave an element of nostalgia, right? Like we already don't have a lot of things that we used to have when we were growing up. And I think like, let's keep Red Lobster as like one of those staple chains, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like a lot of restaurants that we've had growing up are closing and stuff now, and it's just like, dag, where I'm gonna take my kids to for nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? So like like to go to your point, growing up, like that was like you're a bougie on a budget. I remember we used to go there for like Mother's Day, Father's Day, everything like that. It'd just be like, wow, we live in lavish, we live in la vida loca, you know. But I'm happy for y'all, and y'all got a black CEO, and I really love that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I love that
see
guy.
that.
Guess what? He got y'all head above water. Stick to him. He doing great things for y'all. But let's get into our wind down and let's show y'all the new graphic that Shayla so lovely made. Yes. Now, welcome to our wind down portion. And if you don't know what that is after all these heavy topics that we've talked about and just listening to Shayla and I rant and give our opinions on everything, we just want to let y'all simmer down with us. We want to relax, get your energy levels back down to mellow. Okay. So Shayla has a question for us. Well, for me.
Wait, do you want to just do mine or are you going to do yours? Because mine is going to be quick because it's just one way.
We can do yours first then.
No, I want mine to be the last.
Okay. All right. So the question that I had, so what are 5 things you never leave the house without outside of your phone and your wallet?
My keys. Okay. My keys is number 1. My Carmex. You said my phone doesn't count, right?
Phone, wallet don't count outside of that.
That's really if I have my Carmex, and it depends where I'm going. Like, where am I going? If I'm going food shopping because I need my bags.
Shayla, just when you're going out, it doesn't matter where you're going.
Yes, it does. Because if I'm going clubbing or I'm going somewhere, then obviously I need to bring a little bit of makeup to like redo. But if I'm just going around the corner to the bodega
on a regular day, Shayla,
that's it. I need my purse, my phone, my wallet, and my Carmex. That's all I need.
Okay, for me, I always gotta keep my edge control with me on deck. I always keep my lactate pills on me. I don't play those games. Okay. I also bring my Vaseline because your girl is allergic to regular chapstick. I always can only use Vaseline. I always need bobby pins and hair ties, those kind of hair accessories, because I always want to toss my hair up. I get hot very easily. And number 5, I always bring, where is it? Oh my God, my little portable fan. I always got to keep one on me. I get hot very easily, y'all. Okay. I keep one on me. All right. That's my 5.
Okay. Yeah. Clearly you can see we're very different people. I will say the hair tie I usually always have, because you know why I don't think about it? Because I always have the same purse every day. So the only things that I really add are that, like, I always got to make sure my Carmex and keys are there. And if I have that, I'm ready to go. Okay, so now let's go into mine. It's going to be fun. You have 30 seconds to answer these questions, okay? This episode is called This or That.
Oh, cool. Cool. All
right, so I have 4 this or that questions. You have 30 seconds.
For each or just one?
No, for each. Well, no, you have 30
seconds in total.
That 30 seconds is a lot of time.
In total?
Girl, 5 seconds for each question.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Ready? This or that? Rod Wave or Little Dirk?
Lil Durk. I'm sorry.
Fashion Nova or Amazon?
Fashion Nova? No, Amazon.
Warriors or Knicks?
I hate you. I'm sorry. I gotta go with my Knicks. I'm sorry.
Black clothing or bedazzled accessories?
Black clothing. We going hand in hand. We a burger.
All right. Thank you so much for participating.
No.
Or that.
Because I got some this or that questions.
Well, tune into the next episode. Next episode, Rebecca is gonna do this or that for me. So make sure you stay tuned.
That was so foul, Shayla.
We love spicy, caliente.
Whatever. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode. Like Shayla said, tune into next week's episode where we're going to do the whole thing. Okay, listen, the train said we got to go too.
Hello, right. We got to go with the train, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next week.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to the channel. But thanks, guys. Bye.